So I run a private coaching community with group coaching in it. It's called the Attachment Circle. And in there I have a channel just called Red Pill Detox, where men come in and they started off anxious and earning approval from women, and then they earned approval from really broken women who hurt them. And then they thought back to mom who hurt them and they say, "All women are horrible." And then they go to Red Pill that says, "Yes, all women are horrible." And Red Pill generally teaches all women have borderline personality disorder. You should run screaming from them. But if you want to have sex with them, you have to manage them carefully like a pet and manage them and make them be insecure. You have to, what they basically are saying is you need to become avoidant. You need to find insecure women and you need to act upon their abandonment fears to get your sexual needs met. This is just how women are and you have to do it. And a lot of guys come into my coaching or my coaching group, and they pop in there and say, "Guys, I've been doing this and I hate it. I feel like scum. I don't want to prey on insecure women. I am just as insecure myself. What do I do?" And yes, we start walking them through. Okay, the answer is not to be avoidant. The answer is to start being more open about what you want and filter for the right people who are going to match that. Don't be afraid of women. Learn to filter the women who are dangerous. Learn to filter the women who are not a good match for you, and then learn to filter the women who are a great match for you. Women come into my private coaching group, same thing. Of I am terrified of men, and I've been burned so badly. What do I do? Okay, here's how you identify good men who actually will love you and want to build a committed relationship, because that's one of the biggest things I hear from men and women. The other side doesn't want commitment and they don't want family and they don't want kids. Both sides are telling me I want it so bad and they don't. Both sides want marriage and family and commitment overwhelmingly. It's just that they're petrified of mentioning it or believing it ever.
I've heard you say in other places that if you look at where potential relationships emerged from, I don't know, like 40, 50 years ago, it was majority from family and friends and a minority through schemes and systems, right? Obviously, we didn't have apps back then. And then if you look to now, the majority of people, you mentioned strangers looking for strangers, are turning to apps to kind of meet each other, and far, far less are turning to in person. Do you think that's also because of the attachment style, or do you think that that is breeding more poor attachment styles, like chicken or egg kind of thing?
I think it's breeding more attachment styles because yeah, 19 in the 1990s, 1995, 65% of people got their connections through family and friends or dating connections through family and friends, and 12% got their connections through, early internet dating or early dating systems like mail it in and we'll mail it back to you kind of thing. Um, Now it's 12% through family and friends and 65% through apps. And I don't think that's because apps are incredibly good at matching us with the perfect partner. Actually, I think it's sometimes the opposite. They're great at keeping you in the system so you stay a customer. They're great at matching you with somebody fun, and then you're going to come right back to the app. Um, I think that we don't have family and friend connections anymore that we can go to and say, "Hey, do you know somebody? Hey, can you tell me somebody? Hey, is there a good match for me out there? Can people keep their eyes open?" And other people say, "Yeah, I'll do that." And then they do. I think that we don't have many family friend connections much anymore. The research shows, especially the millennial generation, crushingly alone, crushingly, depressingly, like overwhelming despair, loneliness in at least one third of the millennial population. And it's actually worse than that because that's just the like, I wish I was dead loneliness. The I am unhappy loneliness was even more than that. So people are crushingly, agonizingly alone and they can't go to their friends and say, "Hey, do you guys have people in your networks? You're connected to people who are connected to people who are connected to people. Can you get me someone that you have 10 years of data on who is looking for someone like me?" People can't do that anymore. When we rebuild those networks, this is one thing I teach in my coaching. Rebuild your network, start talking with people, use that network to help you find somebody. Within 6 months to a year, people have like the love of their life and they're working toward marriage already once they start rebuilding that. But most men and women don't do that. They say, "Adam, I don't have time to build a friend network. I just want to find the love of my life right now and get married." Probably not going to happen then. You might be one of the outliers that happens for. The humans through all of our history, we made connection through family and friends. All of it. That's what we're made for. Build your network and it almost always happens. The network must come first for quality of life, not even just for dating.